8 meters. 7. 6.
Can't be, that's inside the room.
It's reading right, man, look.
Well, you're not reading it right.
Red alert.
Good evening, everybody, and happy 4th of July. I'm Tom King. We're watching 4K Skywatching live podcast tonight, live from Chandler, Arizona. I have a number of cameras up, and we'll be looking around, see what kind of action happens fireworks-wise. Probably it'll be returned most likely of last year, who had a drone fly around in some of the fireworks. So wherever it goes off, I'll zoom in some of the cameras in that area. And like at Skinwalker Ranch, when they fire rockets, why did they do it? Because activity happens. Well, 4th of July, we'll see what the hell happens. So kind of a long day. This morning we did a helicopter ride with Dan Starkey up from Sun State helicopters again. And we'll talk about that. The footage is being processed. But yeah, talk about that. The footage, well, whatever happens with that footage, we'll show the results next Friday. So tonight, I have Droid with me, and we have time to get into this crap if you guys are into it. But I got R2Q5 here, and USB camera with an extension on it. So if we want, we can look at the guts. We can look inside him. See how, and it's all custom done. So I've all done this myself. I don't have any media to play, but I do have stuff I can get. So we have the live camera here, and this is a 50 foot up on the top of the radar, and it's pan and tilt controlled, so we can turn this around. If anything happens, you guys know what this is for, right? Don't really need to explain that. There's a brand new version of UFODAP came out last night. So I'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, we'll just Skywatch together. How you guys doing? Gobstop. Thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate it. That helped put fuel in the helicopter gas tank for this. So with that, previously on 4K Skywatch, and we had Dan on, and Dan Skywatches a lot in helicopters, which is an expensive hobby. He's done this at least 10 times, dozen times. And about half the time, he gets footage of stuff flying around the Superstition Mountains. So we did that previously about 5-6 months ago. We covered that and went up, and I filmed something with this camera over here on the droid. This guy. And this is a GH5S, pretty nice cinema camera. Gets really, really good results. So the plan was to go back, but Dan had different plans. Dan's plan was actually to go to Sedona, but from what he was saying, there's a no-fly zone there because of what's known as the pocket fire, which is the name of a fire up there. So goddamn Sedona's on fire. So yeah, happy 4th of July, everybody. We'll be seeing some fireworks today. This pole camera will pick them up. So unfortunately, Sedona, this area is on fire, and they talked about in the local news here in Phoenix, and said it's going to be on fire for a while, and showed the area that is on fire, which is the secret mountain area, the area that we showed previously on 4K Skywatching. Well, it's burning, and it's the top of some of the peaks are on fire. So people know what Sedona looks like in generally. Well, the red rocks, the top, where there's these pine trees that are probably 50 feet tall, they're all burning, and there's no way to get up there and put them out. I mean, they're trying by helicopter, but they said something like it's 20% contained. And I'm like, me and my wife Rhonda were talking about that. What do you mean 20%? How do they come up with these percentage contained, right? It's 0% contained until you put it out. That's the only measurement I have. So anyway, damn it, that poor, I just think all the poor animals and stuff that are trapped and whatnot. There's areas of Arizona, if you drive through, you'll see they're just blackened from other fires. And the only thing that survives that are the saguaro cactuses. The rest burns. So anyway, we had plans. Anyway, Dan wanted to fly up there. And I was like, well, that'd be cool. That's a little bit longer flight because a lot of it's just going there and then coming back. But he said there was a no-fly zone, which is understandable. They don't want to have commercial traffic go into an area where they're trying to put it out. It just makes it worse. So we went to Superstition instead and did that trip. And yeah, it's about 104 today, so it would be hot, the chopper, but the chopper was air conditioning. But Dan has the door off. So what good's the air conditioning in the chopper? Got one of the helicopter people in the front has the door off. But still, yeah, when we went up about 5,000 feet, it was like, I think he had a thing in the chopper said 82 degrees. So it was perfect skywatching weather. Kind of flew around the same area. We flew over some lakes coming back. But we were, science-wise, want to repeat this. So if we're going to skywatch from a helicopter and we got, UAP on one trip, let's see if they show up on another one or if they show up in a certain area at all. But I can tell you, looking down, you can't see birds. You can't see nothing. I mean, bird, no way. When you're looking down there, I was looking for horses because some of these creeks have wild horses in them. And if the helicopter's low enough, you might see some wild horses. But a bird, there's no way you're going to see anything that small. You just can't see anything tiny because you're up a mile. You're up 5,000 feet, most of the time. Some of the time, I think we were flying lower at like 3,200 or something. But then you're going 100 miles an hour. And what occurred to me is I wasn't afraid. I know other people, they're like, oh shit, kiss your loved one goodbye. But I had no qualms about, ain't gonna crash. Other people crash, but this isn't gonna crash. So full confidence of that. It wasn't even shaken, and was there to, like with the Phoenix Lights, to do a job. Film. We are there to document UAPs while we're flying in the sky, but mainly looking down. Let's check the sunset. We got beautiful sunset going on. So how's the sound? Does it sound good? So we're there to look for UAPs looking down, and I had, now that I realize it, 4 different devices or so recording, and the job is go there, record everything properly, and then come back and then scan it, for UAP, and that works for the most part. I looked through most of the footage. Um, well, not too much, but I scanned through and processed some of it. Some of them I had problems with. Um, one of them, this thing. So I took these glasses with, talked about these on a different edition of 4K Skywatching. These have a camera in the center of them, and it has a USB, a micro USB card you put in there. So it will record to that. And then it's got a USB-C charger. I just don't use them very often. I suck using the goddamn things. When I first got them, I noticed they would overheat. You would feel heat here on the side, and then they would record, but wasn't reliable, and it would shut off. It just automatically get hot, shut off. Sometimes you get a clip 3 minutes long, sometimes 20. So, but it's 4K, but it's, all the shit's new. They're going to be swarms of this type of stuff. And, I don't like using these unless we're going out to document something, or you're going to do construction work, or that's what I film it for, or bought them for, is UAP while I'm doing stuff, or smashing my thumb with a hammer or some shit, dumb crap like that. Like if you're doing dangerous shit, these might be fun if you fall down. So I had these on, and there is some footage from that, but it's only maybe about 5 minutes of footage that I processed out of it, but 4K nonetheless. So the job is just look around and film what I'm doing. And the reason I wanted these is because of these. Brought these with. So this is a GMC 500 nuclear radiation detector. So this would record if we had high radiation spikes in the sky. And tri-field recorder, thanks Tim Senior for recommending that. So anyway, these don't in itself record. So how do you play it back? That would be with the glasses. So if something weird were to happen or they go off, I could look down and get a reading through these. So that was the plan with these anyway. But anyway, yeah, the Thursday night I was on Spaced Out Radio, and Dave, you get this a lot. Do you ever have any equipment malfunction? Well, yeah, this happened. This thing completely died on me after charging overnight. This thing was good. So this died. That's weird. Haven't had that happen, so I hate saying that, but that hasn't happened before. So that died on me. But my phone worked, so I got entire recording with my phone. So that was another recording device. But when I played it back, the shit's in 720p. It's like, why isn't this in 4K? I thought this crap was all in 4K by default. So I don't use my phone very often to document UFO stuff, and that's all 720p. So the whole trip's on it, but not 4K resolution, fortunately. So there's one screw up on my behalf. Then the camera from this, beautiful footage. That stuff came out in a single file, so it's a 47 gig file that's an hour long of the whole flight, and that was the one we want to see the UAP with. So that's being processed because that can't you really can't watch this stuff. And here's the reason why. There's no gimbal inside that particular camera, so the sensor just picks up goddamn vibration there is. So you got to remove that by having stabilization through the entire video, because using it on a monopod, if you watch the original, it keeps doing this from the helicopter the entire time. And we went through this previously. Same thing happened. Processed the footage. Amazing, it takes it all out. It's going to take 11 hours to do that. After that, then Dan will get a copy. and he's going to go through his footage too. Then we can look through it and see, did anything happen? Again, I don't know. I'm just glad we made it down. So that was kind of the gist of that. The important item worked. And this was another one we had in there, GoPro 360, 4K camera, so it's 4K on each side, and this just captures everything in the cabin. Dan has one of these too. These things, they're great cameras, but you have to edit everything on your phone. Yeah, I tried the Windows app, doesn't work, crashes. Can't get that goddamn thing to work. So I can get to work on the phone, but it's a pain in the ass. Then you have to go through re-editing. So took like an hour and a half to upload this to the cloud, wherever that went. Then you download it back to your phone or something like that. And then you go through a re-editing process. So this footage is interesting because for B-roll, you can't mess with one of these things. It doesn't matter where the hell you put it. It's recording everything. So then you could get a camera angle of the entire trip looking forward, edit hour out that. You can get another angle looking backward. So if we had this under the belly of the helicopter, Dan had one, but was looking forward. If we had one of these, then we would get forward, backward, down, sideways, whatever. But not much experience with these, and when you're paying for a trip to go up, if these don't work, that's an expensive lesson, So he went with what he knows. I'm sure his footage is good. So we're looking through that. So that was another trip about that. I said previously in other episodes we're going to do more helicopter skywatching, so that was one of them. Then we talked about a trip up to Sedona that we wanted to do around May, but May's already come and went. So we made plans not to make plans, in a nutshell. That since there's a fire going on there, and the news said the fire is not going to end for several months. It's going to go on until Mother Nature comes with rain and puts it out. So we wanted to have a pretty big Skywatch with a bunch of different scientists and people come out from different states and join us in Sedona. But since it's burning, that's, just called off until all that's done, and Godspeed on that getting put out. So it would be reasonable to have people come out from like Texas and California, Oregon, Washington, and then to God, you don't know, it could be worse. So I don't want people planning and putting, financial backing behind that or anything to come up, because it's going to be a vacation and a Skywatch. You don't lose, man. You get both. You're going to spend a few days in Sedona, do some camping, hang out, Skywatch, check out gear. We got all kinds of great stuff. Gear-wise, we got everything you would want. And is that a house on fire? Oh, come on, not again. Yeah. Oh, there's a fire. Yeah, all right. So we got something over there. Anyway. Yeah, those I think are legal. In Phoenix, anything that goes up in the air and blows up is illegal. So you're going to be seeing a lot of illegal stuff tonight. But yeah, that's the type of stuff that you can see from the grocery store. So we didn't want to make plans if the place is burning. That's just ridiculous. So we have other areas to study anyway. And I have that beautiful aurora camera. I can't wait to go out. I haven't even had time to really use it. Um, so I was on Spaced Out Radio Thursday, and that was a lot of fun. Dave Scott is just great at ufology and hosting, period. Great questions. He asked me all kinds of stuff that I didn't like look at things that way, and it made me think different. I was like, oh, that's cool because I like to think outside my box that my brain's in. And always got to talk about March 13th. Can't get that monkey off the back, but that's okay. I'm happy to talk about that. Um, and yeah, he doesn't put up with shit either. He's like tired of a lot of crap that goes on in the UFO world too. So it's nice to go over and visit him. So I did that Thursday, was going to do a podcast Friday based upon what I was out doing Thursday night, which was going to be take the Aurora out and go out hunting to about 2 a.m. I was on Spaced Out Radio instead, so I didn't have a thing. I didn't want to do one Thursday, Friday, and then tonight that'd be podcast burnout. So I skipped last night. So, but we're going to talk about the flights and stuff next week after I process what comes out of here, and we'll see if anything happened. Um, but I'm sure it won't deter us. We'll probably have more trips. Helicopter skywatching. That's fun to do. It's fun to do. All right, see what we got on that camera. I think the stream is a bit choppy. Crank the output down just a hair. Yeah, that's the sunsets here are amazing off this pole camera that's up 50 feet. I can take the raw footage and fast forward it and time lapse it and fast forward and take an entire day and make it go by in about 30 seconds. And yeah, you see amazing stuff, especially if it's rare, if we get clouds. Now, in the past, we'll take a look. We won't know yet, but we will know if the laser is still on. Oh, there's some stuff starting to go off. Um, there's an India casino over by those mountains that's been shooting up a laser for a while, and it's hard to see unless you got some clouds. So we'll see if they're shooting up that laser, and that's one of those lasers that's it costs some money. That's some serious watt. That's something like $1 million system. People were wondering what the hell that was for a while until the news finally said, "Oh, just drive over towards it. Maybe you'll find out." Duh. We had a little bit of rain in the helicopter towards the end, but I don't think it ever hit the ground. I think it evaporated before then. These clouds look like they're about 8,000 feet. You can kind of tell because the mountains in the distance are about 3,000 feet. And these clouds are about up a mountain and a half above that. And I can also look it up on like UFODAP. We were up in the helicopter about 5,000 feet. So that was just kind of underneath these clouds. You'll see it in the video later. Let's copy. Yeah, there's something funky on my stream here. Take a look at it. It's bit changing in the bit rate. This new version of UFODAP has this camera system in here for IP camera. And that's what you see with that IP camera. But it's got a drop down in there for IP camera, USB camera, scientific camera, I think, and then playback. That's interesting. Don't know what that does. And then something else. So, the email said that it now supports Celestron telescopes and things like that. So that's a pretty big upgrade of more things UFODAP can do if it can do Celestron and whatever else, different pan and tilts. It's should have a huge user base. I can't believe he doesn't sell these by tens of thousands as far as software wise. Let's see that droid think that shit too. Oh God. Oh, he needs some power. We need to hook up some 12 volts on him and get him some power. He's low. I think it might have killed that droid. Something's jacked on my streaming. Yeah, this is something I don't know what end. I got 82 megabit upload. I'm not even using that. So speed wise, I'm down. I'm good up and down. So it's kind of fucked up from the somewhere from the OBS to YouTube. But Yeah, so much gear, it's a headache. Yeah, no shit. That's why if you bring four and two of them work, at least we got two. Dan had the right idea. Is just going raw dog it with nothing, but and then see what happens. Or I had an idea half memory card half full and half empty battery. Give them a chance or something. You go up there with all this, over the top stuff. I gotta show up. I, I had another I had an idea that whenever we get this group together, this might scare some of them. That was the idea. Um, the Bradshaw Ranch itself is a dilapidated kind of stage in a way. It's a bar, big house, restaurant, kind of a weird all-in-one combo house. And anyway, it's kind of like the in Skinwalker Ranch that Homestead too. So I was thinking got chairs there, have a person voluntold, whoever goes with, time down the chair, then have them sit there for an hour. We'll have cameras on them, and then see what happens. See if they get scared. Let them meditate, whatever. Then we'll have somebody else over another area that's watching remotely, target them or something like that, try and remote view them, do experiments at the Bradshaw Ranch, see what the hell happens, have all different types of gear running, see if any of it goes weird. I mean, if you're going to be there, have fun. If you're going to be there all night, and that's not the worst one or the weirdest one. Right next to the main house is this other house that's I think someone said like 105 years old or something, really old. It's made out of mud. It's real thick. That one's even freakier. Put them in that house. The freakiest one, but there's some weird freaky ass shit at 3 a.m. You might not be want to sitting down to a chair and people are running experiments around you. Or maybe if you're that type of person and think that's fun, that's what I'm thinking about. It just zoomed in on what that little dot is over by the double palm trees by the Camelback Mountain. Why is the stream so fucked up? Ah, son of a bitch. Always something going wrong. All right, looks like the stream's a lot better this time. Out the gate, it went to shit, I think. Turn flight radar on. Since They somewhat legalized some fireworks. People stockpile these like arms, I guess. Here, LA, they're not supposed to have the ones bottle rockets, anything that goes up and explodes and makes those cool lights. But yet there's one. And they look cool, but it's illegal unless you got like the government authorization and licenses. It's just crazy. Somebody's house tonight will burn up. Tomorrow, usually we turn on the news and right in front of the pole. Yeah, the neighbor. There you go, Juan. Or I won't say his name. There you go. Busted. Make a donation to the channel. I won't turn this video over to the cops. Yeah, boob tube. That one that just went right up in front of the camera. I'm pretty sure no one down the street has a license for that stuff. Don't even know where you get them. Like I was saying just before that, people stockpile this stuff and they shoot them off every holiday, not just 4th of July. Labor Day, they go off. Veterans Day, they go off. Left and right, the shit goes off. Any celebration, Cinco de Mayo, they go off. Mother's Day, they're going off. Father's Day, they're not going off. Not on Father's. Nobody does nothing for Father's Day. You get a gift card to Red Lobster. That's about it. Something way out there. Dose. The second one. Right in front of the. I think they're aiming for the radar. They might be after that dang radar. Droid don't know. Droid went to sleep. Happy 4th. Well, it looks like the stream's normal. It started off like shit. I don't know why it does that. Hopefully it stays this way. Oh yeah. You can hear them going off. Yeah. Yeah, that laser, we'll see if that laser is going to come up and hit that cloud again. But might be kind of weird. The Indians at the casino are going to celebrate the 4th of July. Because that's when we came here and fucked shit up. Or something like that. Fucked up the shit. That laser's over to the south. I'll go over there and look in a bit. I can see them across the street on one of my cameras out there lighting this stuff. Hope they're safe. Don't blow my fucking pickup up. Oh man, you lit that motherfucker next to the front of my truck. I got it. Yeah, I just on the other camera I got him. Maybe I need to go move my truck before he blows up the engine. Pops the fucking tire. State's evidence on these guys. There comes another one. Not to holding a fucking baby while they're blowing up these things. Come out here, baby. Watch the model rocket. I better hope it goes up and not sideways. Uh-oh. Now the little kid gets to go pick up the mess. The fuck? It's not even dark enough to light this shit off. These cameras are colored night visions to make it look a lot brighter than it is. Yeah, the sky was overcast. Overcast this morning. Went up in the helicopter. It was overcast like this. There was a break in the clouds. Thought maybe the heat was going to break through, but well, let's do a composition like Steven Spielberg here. Let's see. All right. So, he launches another one. Fireworks or bombs? Shit. Yeah, by the time that tomorrow will be kind of messed up skywatching because there's going to be this cloud over town from all the shit that blows up tonight. Yeah, Mr. Bubble, that's what I was talking about earlier. If Skinwalker Ranch fires up just a couple of these type of things, and they'll blow up, but they just have the parachute come out, and they claim they get stuff happens. Like the stuff I hear is that happens is instruments. They get readings, they get radio frequencies. They'll get equipment feedback that they otherwise wouldn't get. That would be pretty much deadlined and just given nominal readings. All of a sudden, go up with a rocket, and it wouldn't make any sense if you think about it. Like if all of a sudden, like magnetometer goes off, why? Why would a rocket have anything to do with that? Why does drilling have anything to do with it? A lot of weird stuff. So I guess if you're bored and you're sitting around out there for days, you shoot up rockets. Fuck it, and then see if anything happens. And apparently it does, and it looks good on TV too. So tonight's version of 4K Skywatching with rockets right in front of the goddamn fucking camera. There was a drone flying around last time. I said, "What's that?" I found somebody was filming. It surprised me that I only saw one. And then, I think that's probably illegal too. You can't just put up a drone at night and fly the damn thing around willy-nilly without telling Uncle Sam first. And then if you're poor, they tell you no, can't do it. But if you got money, you say, yeah, go ahead. Go right ahead. All right, so there's this plane coming in, right? Ooh, you see that thing flying by? What the fuck is that? You see that thing go by in the clouds by the plane? Rewind it at 8:30 and 10 seconds. Something flew through the cloud. We have, and I don't know, is that a meteor? I mean, that went down. That wasn't like something going up. I'm going to rewind that. Hold on. Go to the other screen here. Yeah, that happened. That happened. If you rewind to 8:30 and 10 seconds, so go exactly back on the timeline. We had a UFO sighting. Go back 8:30 and 10 seconds. Type that in the chat so I can remember to pull that off the NVR. We had something flying through the clouds at a high rate of speed that was, it didn't look like a bottle rocket because it was shooting sideways through the clouds. I don't know, maybe a meteor, but we'll check it out later. But something happened already that's weird on the wide angle camera. So that was cruising fucking fast at like meteor speed. But if you want to check that out, 8:30 and 10 seconds. Go back and check that out. It shoots, it kind of comes from the center, then it shoots down towards like the 9 o'clock position. It's something flying through the clouds. Probably need to also turn your resolution on 4K and then look at 8:30, 10 seconds. Tell me what you think. I don't know. Summoning on the 4th of July. That's taking credit for that. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Bubble. Yeah, watch that back on 4K mode on a big TV. Watch some shoot sideways and down. What the hell is that? That's why I have my dash camera on my van. So I was driving back from I went to a droid party in 2013. Took my Imperial droid out to LA, and then they had, I don't know, like a meet up, and there was maybe 25 droids there, and the guy from Mythbusters showed up. I can't remember his name, but he's a big fan of that Star Wars stuff, and it's the guy who passed away, the Asian guy. He showed up, and I remember seeing him there, and they were filming it for StarWars.com. So that was like later. But anyway, when we were driving back, 2:30 in the morning, around 29 Palms, I saw something flying. That was a bright light just appeared. It was heading kind of down. It all happened fast. I thought, is that a meteor coming in? And then it kind of bent and went squirrely. And I was like, get out your phones. And, by the time I got the phone out and started hitting buttons, that thing was gone. I was like, if I had a dash camera, I would have filmed it. That'd be UFO number 175, some shit. But yeah, it looked like something like that flew through at 8:30 and 10 seconds. Hey, look at that. There's kicking beehives right in front of the fucking camera. They're spending good money to entertain us with these explosives tonight. All right, weird. Something showed up. Let's see what else happens. Glad it showed up after I got the stream fixed. Maybe the thing was waiting to show up, but he's like, that stupid idiot down there can't get his fucking stream right. I'll pause until he does. Next time on Spaced Out Radio, Dave Les. Tom, you ever live stream and a UFO show up when it's choppy? No, Dave. No, they wait until the stream is fixed and then they show up. Next question. Anyone can summon these things. I don't think anybody who does it has like special powers or something. They're tapping into something that everyone has. And every person out there. Maybe some just tuned into it and noticed it and said, "Hey, I have this weird side Jedi power or some shit." And sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. But it's amazing when it works. But it seems when you put them on the spot, they get balloons. The best ones happen when the person's just all on their own and they do their summoning and later they film something. Maybe what happened at 8:30 was fireworks. I don't know. Look into that. There's a big soap opera going on in ufology with Ross Coulthart and Lou Elizondo. Ross is saying Lou worked in the fucking original program and he was lying that he didn't. And Lou probably got a murky background, but yeah, that's tabloid shit. Ross signed a big deal at News Nation, and he's got to bring in ratings. And if there's nothing going on and it's kind of slow, then you amplify something to make something bigger than what it even is. It's not even an issue. It's just anybody can start picking apart dumb shit and then say, this is a huge issue. The UIP is the issue. Or worse than fireworks, they shoot at you. If you fly over remote areas, you might hear gak, 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 and somebody's unloading an AK-47 on you. All right, that's the America I know. Shit exploding in the sky. Now I don't see that laser. That laser would have popped up by now, right, right where we're pointing, and it would be highlighted in the clouds. And we're kind of looking north towards Scottsdale, Tempe. People at home, concentrate on summoning an object that'll show up. I'm thinking something blue, maybe. So meditate on everyone focus on something blue that'll just appear in those clouds and give us a 4th of July UFO summoning of some type. Well, I did my thing. I did my meditation. So meditated. Hope something blue shows up. I'll see. Is it black and white? So this gives us a view looking east now towards Gilbert and the Superstition Mountains. Let's go explore what that little dot is over in the lower left-hand corner. See if I can see it. There's a tree blocking the view of the other camera. You're Skywatching live in Chandler, Arizona. It's dark finally, and fireworks going off in all directions. We had something fly by, possibly at if you go rewind this stream to 8:30 and 10 frames. See if there was anything. Keep watching. What the fuck happened? God damn it! Now, fuck. Now I clicked on something and fucked something up. Damn. Fucking YouTube. Yeah, there was a flyby earlier where they flew around different cities. Didn't look up what they exactly were flying. I think the other view looked a little better. This view that we're looking at is where we saw the drone last year. See if the guy puts it up again. Yeah, it's not good that they're out there shooting fireworks off next to my truck because there's a gas leak. I found out that if I fill that thing up and I come home, it leaks gas right out the. I got to replace that before we go to Sedona. I don't want that fucking thing busting up. Bust up there. So yeah, Rhonda was telling me she's watching a neighbor. They were lighting some stuff and their shit started on fire. Then they had to put it out. Everyone's on, yeah. This is crazy lighting fireworks off like this in Arizona. After what happened in Malibu or not Malibu, Maui, those fires, and then those fires that happened in the Pacific Palisades area of LA that burnt. I mean, I when I moved here in '95, I was surprised that we even have a city because I was thinking, one of these palm trees just starts on fire, and then with the wind, it'll blow sideways, and fucking this whole city will just burn. And it doesn't happen. We have one of the best fire departments in the United States. And it's knock on wood that hasn't happened, but this whole fucking town could just seem like it could get out of control. Somebody does something with the fire and then it blows and I think I was seeing on the news Utah's cracking down on this stuff, but it's fine if the city does it, but when you got people, across the street from you, setting them off next to your truck that has a fucking gas leak, that's not good. I got a 60-inch in here with the radar view on. It makes it really well. It makes it hot, but it makes it a lot easier to point out little things that are flying around. Hope everyone is having a good 4th of July tonight. I have this video. If I get 10,000 subscribers, maybe, and I'm up to 4, so welcome all the new people. A lot of people subscribed in the last week. Get up to 10,000. Maybe I'll show this video. It was shot in South Dakota. I know I have white hair in there. I had short white hair. So that's got to be like 89. I don't remember. But it was 4th of July. Went out with the parents. And of course, what do? They drink. They go out and they get fucked up. And we had a fireworks fight. So we're sitting there shooting bottle rockets at each other. And they don't, just hand launching them, a cigarette or whatever, and launching them at each other. And bottle rocket war. And sometimes we get the Roman candles and shoot them at each other too. That's what brothers do with your friends. So we're shooting these bottle rockets at each other. And in the background is something going up and down. And during the bottle rocket war, we're not watching the playback. We're like, what's flying in the distance? And we're thinking seagulls, because it's like white things going up and down, but you can't see flapping. You can't see. So that was kind of the introduction of, hey, maybe there could be UFOs in footage. Let's see if there's any in old footage. They tend to do weird shit like that. So if I get 10,000 subscribers, maybe I'll play that part. There's a part where I shot one of them and it hit my little brother in the balls and blew up. Funny as hell. Fuck. Another 6,000 subscribers to go. We'll be watching that video. Maybe, hopefully, before next 4th. Fourth really freaks out animals. Dogs and cats absolutely hate the 4th of July. They're like, why are these bombs going off? Or the cat sitting in the hallway. She thinks the house is coming down. She does it every time we have a thunderstorm. She sits in the hallway, thinks the house is going to collapse or something. I guess that's the safest spot according to the cat. And I troll her. I just pet her. Well, if you won't leave the hallway and you're just stuck here, I'll just pet you. But she's in there now. And I know people with dogs, their dogs probably freak the fuck out with this stuff. In the past, you would hear automatic weapon fire. Isn't unusual to hear. All right. I think I'm going to spin the camera around. Let's see how we're going to do that. So, yeah, well, I'm going to build a scene. Radar view. Checking to make sure the snake of wires come down, doesn't get tangled on the lower parts. It kind of does sometimes. Thinking about replacing the radar or building on top of the radar uh, a different payload. And the one I had in mind that had the 8 cameras and a circle and the dome camera on top, that requires a 120-volt power source. So great camera until you look at requirements. So you have two Ethernet cables that come down, one from the dome, one from the other 8, but uh, requires 120 volt. So I'd have to run basically a fucking, hey Dave, how you doing? Extension cord up there, and I don't want to run 120 volts of power up there. And while it's going up and turning, you never know. I don't want to have that goddamn thing fire or whatever. Just don't want to do it because right now everything that goes up is just Ethernet cable and one for the radar GPS, plus the cable for the Pelco pan and tilt. But that doesn't equal burning up power. So kind of sketchy. If I get something like that, then I got to figure out power requirements. It's like, oh fuck, a lot of times I say, what am I getting myself into? For fireworks, it should be a requirement if you're at least going to light off the driveway shit that you got to have like a bucket of water with you or a water plan or something. Because if you go on a boat, this is on a small lake, the government can pull you over, check your ID, see if you're drunk, see if you got life preservers for everyone, and go through a whole checklist of shit. So it should be if you're going to fire these fucking fireworks next to a truck that leaks gas, you got to have hell water. At least something, some fucking. So if the cops pull up, say it's good, we got water. So anyway, I got to figure out how to get this off while we're watching Skywatching, 4K Skywatching, 4th of July special extended edition. Oh, nice. Finally got done after, it took a while. I don't know if Dan's watching, but that's the GoPro video from the 360, and then you can spin the camera and turn around and look at any angle and see my dumbass back there. But anyway, that's what I mean about re-edit. Then you got to go through and go edit the front or edit the side, or edit back, whatever. But next time we do a chopper thing, we should just attach this goddamn thing to the bottom, and or if the chopper allows, do a fork connection where you have something that attaches it, and then you have this one on one area and another area with the GoPro, so you got dual camera. That way, if one fucks up, the other one got it. But the problem with this is, yeah, 1 hour mission. So this got an hour and 2 minutes, and then it ended because the battery died. Now, I was about to swap this out in the cabin, but we landed. Um, but underneath, yeah, you can't. You got to fucking land. Land. So then that limits. So you do helicopter trips with one of these hours. All you're gonna get. If it doesn't fucking overheat, that's another problem too. Like that. Weird watching some of these fireworks go off in the distance because I know where that is. I'm like, what's up? That's some dude's house. They're letting it all let loose. It's expensive. Go buy some shit and set it on fire. I did that when I was younger. It was fun as fuck. Like I said, fireworks wars and shit. Nah, son. I don't got waste money on that. Waste money on gas. Helicopter gas. Damn, is the truck still there? Let's put a camera on the truck. You know what? I can't. Fuck it. Let's see. Um, we got it now. Fucking, yeah, man. You can just see by that rear tire too, where some of that gas is leaking. I'm gonna fix that before that fixes me. I turned it back towards those radio towers looking west on the radar camera. You can see it on the visual when I turned it too. And earlier, yeah, did some meditation. Hopefully, summoned something blue. See if anything blue shows up. Blue orb would be cool. They fly around Chris Donald's property all the time. And other people have filmed them too, but I haven't ran into that luck yet. Hoping one of those damn blue orbs would fly right up next to this pole and check it out. A lot of people out at the lakes today. We saw a bunch of people when we flew over in the helicopter. Tons of boats down there. That's how I was saying it. When you see a boat down there, you're just like, well, yeah, you can see it's a river and it's a boat, but you can't make out any people or what kind of boat, nothing, not from that air. So you can't see animals flying by either. So it's pretty weird when you're watching footage and something flies by and it's like, what is this stuff? Especially Dan's got some proper footage of these things coming right out of mountains and going through the hills of another mountain and going and keep going. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know that there's a base in the Superstition Mountains. There could be. But it would be, I guess, like Dan knows the area real well. It would be a certain mesa there or mountain because all the mountains have different names and shit. So it'd be like Superstition Mountains, and there's a certain area where there's more activity versus if you go to other mesas or mountain peaks. there'd be less. So I don't really think there'd be like I talked about this on Spaced Out Radio, like a door that they would use, because we use doors just to lock rooms, unlock, lock shit up. They would need a door if they just go in and out of places. I don't even know if they would have a room where they would hang out, period. What would they do? A bunch of orbs fucking sit around, different colors, next to a parked number sports model, numerous craft. What's that scene look like? You know, that'd be pretty soon with AI, at least the good part of it. We can render shit like that without needing industrial light and magic and $3 million. You know, you just need some tokens, a good prompt. Also find on the helicopter good areas to Skywatch. And you can see this stuff on Google Maps too, looking down, but it's just a whole different perspective when you're just cruising over them. And you go, oh, there's a good spot. Or, you know, a lot of good spots to Skywatch are locked up behind gated communities where they got nice homes and they got a gate and you can't really get in there unless you're going to sneak in behind the car. They got cul-de-sacs, and a lot of these cul-de-sacs you can go in, park your car, and then go hiking or Skywatch there. And as long as you don't make too much of a problem, you shouldn't attract the Karen that shoos you away. But I would, because I'd bring a bunch of gear and a computer, and they'd be like, "What the fuck is that guy doing over there? Got all this gear in this heat." I tell her, "Ma'am, you need to subscribe to 4K Skywatching." I can a little bit. I'm going to rewind this NVR to 830, play this back a couple of times, find out what the fuck happened there. Uh, yeah, rewind to 830. Um, so about an hour. Go to 830 in 10 frames or 10 seconds in, and there was something going by in the cloud. So that was at least one thing that happened earlier. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. Thought about putting a thermal camera, a dual optic thermal, because I got an extra one up on this radar view. But the problem is when the sun goes down, it's not good to have the thermal, you know, looking anywhere in that direction. So it would work, but it would degrade the thermal over time. I know because I had that happen in the other three. It doesn't ruin the camera, this particular type of camera. Um, it will leave some burn in within the camera for a while, but it depends on how long that happened. But what I found is eventually that goes away, becomes unnoticeable. So it's not permanent, which is good. So it's not the end of the world, but it depends on the thermal device and night vision device. Some stuff you can just blow up. They don't have stuff that fail safes that stops you from ruining it. Some of the PVS-7s have stuff like that. Anti shut off stuff so you don't like burn up the tubes. So if I did put thermal up, it's almost like I'll have to have a switch so I can turn it on at night, leave it off, but then you have to manually fuck with that. Or plug it in at night when the sun goes down. That's safe to use. But you got to unplug it before the sun comes around. So that's not something I want to put up on the pole as a payload because it's you got to manually screw with that stuff. I want to automate it if possible. Oh, fuck. Looking at the phone. Still can't edit that helicopter clip until I download it because it's over 4 gig. I'm looking for that blue thing. Well, there isn't one, but I'm hoping there's one. I just wonder how come Stephen Greer doesn't have footage of him CE5 and these things in it. I'd be a believer if he saw seen him do it, but he doesn't fucking have anything in his presentations where he does it. Not that's convincing me anyway. I watched all that Bob Lazar. You guys watched all that Bob Lazar meets Travis Walton? Because I wonder, I saw just a clip of it, but that's a weird putting them together. So I'm just thinking some kind of pay happened to put them in wherever they put them. And then, like, what if, I don't know their backstories. Like, what if Bob didn't believe Travis Walton personally? And he's got to kind of pretend he does in an interview, at least be nice. And what if Travis thought Bob lied about his background and all that, and he didn't believe any of it? So interesting though, but it's cool seeing mega icons and legends of ufology put together to talk and say, what do you make of the situation and how all this is? What do you think? If both of their realities are real, the hell of a universe we're living in. Glad my truck hasn't burned down. I mean, if it's gonna burn down, I want to videotape it. At least have it on video. Oh, self-driving car just went by. Friend of mine right up the street had his truck stolen a few years back, and it had a trailer behind it. So he had a Ford F-250, and behind that was a trailer that had a car inside, and it was a race car. So the trailer led back, flipped down, so he could drive it in and out. And he takes it to local race places and just drives the shit out of it. And it's a white Porsche 928, has all the interior gone. It's it's everything stripped out, no windshield, all lightened and shit. And the fucking car weighs 3,000 pounds before you do that. So he tried to get down to like 1,400 pounds or something. So it's a little bit faster. I've been with him on the track. Anyway, the whole thing's gone. It's like, Tom, my somebody stole my shit. Like, really? Like, fuck, man, you live down the street. We must live in the ghetto. What the fuck? Because nothing, knock on wood, that happens around here. And but camera on the fucking truck. Anyway, his shit's gone. And so I'm on the lookout, see fucking F-250 pulling a fucking white trailer, Porsche 928 inside. Call police. He gets a call later. Hey, they found it. I'm like, they did? And yeah, he goes, they found the fucking trailer. They abandoned it when they broke in it and in the lock and found it was a race car. It didn't have fucking tools and nothing they could use. So they left that, but didn't find the truck. So at least got the trailer and the car back. Trailer and the car back. A couple days later, Rich, they said, found the truck. Okay, come get it. And at a fucking, I don't remember, Nogales or something. They found it in the fucking desert about 5 to 8 miles from the border. So they took it off road and they were just making roads down there, and I guess drove it until they said fuck it. And I saw it. The car was beat the fuck, all dented. It was a nice truck. It was beat the fuck. They totaled it. He got a new truck. About 2 years later, that one gets stolen too. Calls me again. I'm like, what the fuck? We really do live in the ghetto because that's 2 fucking cars stolen. And, I don't see shit like that. No one's stealing cars around here, I mean, I've never had an Amazon package stolen. Let's put it that way. So it's kind of shocking you hear anything because crime's real fucking low. And they target his fucking truck. And I go, did they get the race car? He's like, no, they fucking didn't take it that time. Then how the fuck do you not double protect your shit? I said, you got low jack? You got fucking air tag? No. And he got that one back too. That one wasn't down to Mexico border, but he got that fucker back. And they jumped in the hood, kicked the windshield, fucked this shit up. So yeah. Keep your eye on your shit. So you never know, someone comes and steals your truck. And your race car and your skywatching gear. If I turned on the Phoenix police scanner, I'd probably freak out hearing all the shit we deal with, especially tonight. That shit. What I should have did is tune into downtown police fucking dispatch or something. Be fun flying around, but a little bit dangerous. But I think if you're over 10,000 above all this pollution, you can kind of see over the tree line the smoke from all the fireworks that just blew up and dissipated, and blowing around now. So people with OCD or whatever that breathing fucking thing, primatine mist and shit, they're probably fucking. They hate this shit just as much as the dogs. Man, it's real light this year as far as fireworks. I guess everybody's kind of like tamping down their inner Timothy McVeigh. Fuck, a couple of years back, it was scary. It was at midnight, ba bomb, bomb, ba boom, boom. Like, what the fuck? What kind of neighbors have all this shit? So many fireworks. Do it on that camera, I think. All right, so kind of wrap up the. I guess the weirdest thing tonight was at 8:30. So we're going to rewind and take a look at that. let's reconstruct. Play back. Go to 832. All right, I'm just going to let it run here. So we're going to do playback at 8:30 and look at what the fuck happened. Was that tail end of firework, or was it anything good? See, I can also, I got a 50, 22, 23. I don't have it hooked up right now, but what I can do is I can hook UFODAP up here. So what the way you can do this is you chain them. So you hook up UFODAP first, and then you can wire it into the NVR. So that way UFODEP will collect folders and look through it and find out what, tell you what to look through. And the NVR will have everything. So you look through your folders. If you have anything, then you go to the NVR, and that has the full backup of everything. So that's another trick to get extra mileage out of your equipment, and it have dual purpose. Have UFODEP run through any IP camera, any USB camera you're using, telescopes, whatnot. And then you can hook them up to an NVR too. So let's see. Maybe it was nothing. I'm not seeing it. Right there. This thing. This thing doesn't look like it's a part of a firework. So there is something. There is something that flew through the cloud at 8:30. We're looking at that. Something happened tonight. Okay, look a little closer. Something comes flying down this direction. I think this is filming at like 15 frames a second. I'll have to check when I get this. Right here, it appears over out of this cloud. It doesn't look like extra debris after a firework went off, because one went off few seconds earlier. There we have something. Yeah, I caught that one. I wonder if anything else happened. I didn't. A meteor? How do meteors go through clouds? Or the whole thing? Possibly a meteor? Yeah, it could be. Interesting that something happened. So, yep, that was something. We had something fly through, but think about it. Think about it. Could that be a meteor? Under a cloud? You know, meteors are usually not under the clouds. They can be, but interesting. Got something. So something happened tonight on 4K Skywatching at 8:30. I'll pull that section off. We'll look at it for next week. We'll look at the helicopter footage. We'll examine that. We'll talk to Dan. Maybe he'll have him on again and see what happened last time. 4K Skywatching. Need to charge this droid up, that's for sure. All right, thank Gobstopper, Dave Altman, Mr. BoobTube for stopping by, checking out. JMR66, SCO773 was in. Good to see you. Thank you for that super chat, Gobstopper. Thank you so much. That helps fund the channel. Oh, T-Bone, good. I'm not sure what happened. Good to see you, T-Bone. Yeah, I was on, he's regular over on Spaced Out Radio, which I try to tune into that around 9 at night, jump in the hot tub. And anyway. Good to see you guys with tonight's explosions. It was mild, but we did have an object cruise by. Before we tried to summon something, actually, and then I tried to summon something blue. I haven't seen anything, but at least gave it a shot. You know, might as well throw that in. Fuck it. If you're sky watching and you're gonna go, I'm Justin. If you're watching, if you're sky watching and you're gonna, you know, be out for a few hours, fuck it. Throw in a meditation. Just give it 3 minutes. Think of a certain type of thing. Try to project yourself leaving your body and going up into the sky, into the clouds, and say, here I am. This is my position. Come find me. Then open your eyes and then see if something shows up there. That's what I did. That's what I was thinking. And it worked out one time. I probably got to do it another 900 times or so, and then it'll work one more time unpredictably. That's what happens. We'll see you guys next Friday on 4K Skywatching. Thanks for watching.
So let your body